Okay, so we're going to put some shock spacers on today. 1-inch shock spacers. Give the bike a little bit of a lift. So bone stock to the skid plate, we're actually probably more like 10 to 11 inches of clearance in the back. The shock adjusters are maxed out. So this is the stock setup. Let's see about the front. Okay, and in the front, again to the bottom of the aluminum skid plate, it's like maybe 10 inches tops. So, and again, that's with the shock tension maxed out on the stock setup. And as you can see, where I ride, there's definitely some big rocks. The front of the skid plate's definitely taken some hits, but she's done her job. So we'll see what these spacers do. Hoping for about a couple inches lift. Okay, so here's the spacers. They're just a 1-inch anodized black aluminum spacer. Should give us a 2.5-inch, hopefully, increase in clearance, supposedly. And these are the basic instructions that came with it. Not much on there. And I think these are from China, I believe. Got them off of eBay. And they're supposedly for my specific bike. So we'll check it out. Yeah, just taking off the interior trim panel. And now we're going to take off the shock. We had to go and find the spring compression tool. There we go. And that's actually an automotive one, so the little hooks, the little claws fit though, so good. One less thing to have to buy. Just setting up the spring compression tool. Okay, so originally we put that plastic spacer on the bottom and then the aluminum spacer on top of it. Yep, and Martin said, you know, the spring itself is going to shimmy around. Right. So this way that piece will line up. So we had to take it off and we reversed it. So now you put the aluminum spacer right against the bottom. Put the plastic spacer with the lip facing up. Yeah. Then that way there'll only be a little bit of movement on the spacer, but the spring will be lined up and it'll stay in place. And then you put the caps back on, alternate them, the bottom one and the top one about 180 degrees so they lock in, they can't slide off, and then release the tension on the clamp. But that's the way to go. So when we first did the install, we put this little spacer that lines up the coil with the stock adjuster, and we put this piece here, but then Martin said, you know what, we're going to have too much play with the spring itself, so we reversed it. So now we put the 1-inch spacer right against this piece, and then put that plastic spacer right here with the lip going up so that this spring stays in alignment. And as it goes up and down, this will rub against the shock body and eventually cause some abrasions and so forth. So I think that's a better way to go. And if I were going to redo this and make a suggestion to any viewers, I would see if I can pick up another one of these plastic spacers and put it here against this piece, which would then put the lip up and line this piece up. So this, the actual spring's not going to move now. This might come out of place a little bit and shimmy over, I don't know, a couple millimeters or so. But, so that would be my suggestion to you guys. Okay, so finished project. In the rear, on the softest spring setting, we're now at about 1 foot ground clearance in the back. And about the same in the front. So I think if I were to firm up the shock settings, I'd probably get almost 13 inches of ground clearance. So definitely a couple inches on average improvement, and again, that's with the softest shock setting. Definitely takes a few hours to do the job, and air tools help. Thanks, Martin. Alright, so we'll play with the settings and see what the best shock setting is. Maybe I'll try medium, but I want to give it a little ride in soft, see what happens. Alright, thank you. So I adjusted the settings on the shocks to about medium, which is about 2 clicks from the softest, and it definitely stiffened it up, and it doesn't seem to settle as much now. And she's got about 12 to 13 inches of ground clearance now, so definitely better than stock. And you can see the front, and the angles of the drive arms are still pretty good. I don't think they're overly flexed, and when I sit on it, it's going to settle anyway. So, all right, well, thanks for watching the install of the spacers, 1-inch spacers. Feel free to comment, like, and share the content. And certainly, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe. So, thanks. It is November 7th, and definitely a little ground clearance. You can see the side profile now, the gapping's a little bit much. So, when the tires are ready to be replaced, I'll probably aim for 27 or 28 inch, which will fill in that gap a little bit nicer. All right, thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.